Hey, Acers, what's up? It's your girl, Dawn Nicole here. And listen, it has been too long since we did this, right? I haven't done a live video in some time because I've been busy. Your girl's been busy working, grinding. I'm an EdTech co-founder in a company called Skilldora. I've got some other exciting ventures going on. I've been talking about AI and Agile and so much more. And speaking of AI and Agile, I have to tell you, this talk that you're getting ready to watch has been like highly raved, highly rated. It is one of my most famous, infamous talks. To this day, even though I did it way back in May, I still get people hitting me up on LinkedIn or on Facebook saying, Dawn Nicole, I heard this talk. I absolutely loved it. Where can I learn more? Blah, 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 blah. So listen, I thought that this talk would be super fitting for my audience here at Ace Your Agile Career. And speaking of fitting, I have to show off this shirt. So isn't this shirt cool? It says, I belong on the call, in the room, and at the table. And these shirts are done none other than by Lisa Medley Executive Coaching. She's a dear friend of mine. She participates in a lot of business events and things I have going on. Love Lisa. Check her out. She's on LinkedIn. She's got these great shirts and she's got mugs and some other cool things. Anyway, back to the talk. Make sure you grab your notepad. Make sure you get your cell phone because I'm about to drop some nuggets, you guys. And put down in the comments, what do you think about what I'm saying? I mean, I'd like to think that I bring this talk to you in the most socially relevant way, but I want to see what you think. What hits you? What compels you? So put that down in the comment and we shall see. All right, enough of my talking. Let's hit play and let's get to this talk. Boom.
We are delighted to introduce our final keynote speaker, Dawn Nicole McElwain, with her presentation on AI's impact on Agile roles in a modern world and how to stay competitive. Dawn will take a deep dive into key concepts of AI and its impact on Agile professionals, including multiple ways to increase knowledge and become immediately more valuable today to serve and support your organization. Stay with us to have your questions answered at the end of the presentation.
Hi, my name is Dawn Nicole McElwain, and I am excited to bring this talk to you today on AI's impact on Agile in a modern world and what we can all do to remain competitive. Again, I am the COO and co-founder at Skilldora, and I'm really excited to bring this talk forward. As I do, we'll really focus on two aspects of this talk. Number one, we'll focus on how the rise of AI will impact Agile roles as we know them today. And then number two, we will talk about how the rise of Agile will change what we work on, the type of projects, so on and so forth. So let's jump in. Arguably, right, hands down, we all admit that this year is critically acclaimed as the year of the AI revolution. No matter where we look, no matter where we turn, in every industry, in every sector, you can't escape the AI conversation. From banks, when we talk about customer service prompts, you can't even get a customer service person on the phone in the first 10 minutes, or facial recognition to make sure you are, in fact, who you say you are. Or in our educational sectors, right? AI is taking over with AI avatars now teaching classes or chatbots, making sure that students remain engaged and entertained, right? There's AI everywhere. We really can't escape it. AI is even showing up in something as basic as the entertainment avenues that we all know, like, and trust, like Netflix, right? Netflix is using AI to determine what we might like next. If we watch this show, we would like this. I think you get my drift that the AI revolution is here and it is here fiercely. But what exactly is AI? This begs the question. So essentially, AI is artificial intelligence that is programmed to think, behave, make decisions, and in some cases predict in a way that humans would. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But the real question is, where did all of this come from? Out of nowhere, right? Well, I've got news for you. Although AI has been sneaking up all around us, thanks to something called ChatGPT, right? We are giving credit to ChatGPT for helping us really turn AI on its head this year. First of all, ChatGPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It is a natural language processing tool that is AI driven, and essentially it allows humans like you and I to have meaningful textual conversations with basically a chatbot about anything. However, this is a little fun fact, is that ChatGPT single-handedly was able to amass millions of users in its first few hours, which breaks a record. It was something that Facebook wasn't able to do. do, something that Twitter and Instagram only dreamed of doing. What's also interesting about the rise and release of ChatGPT is that it wasn't publicized. It was sort of a silent launch, and then news stations took notice after the fact. So, if this is telling us anything about the tone of AI in our world, this is telling us that we are ready. Regardless of what side of the fence you fall on, whether you are for AI or you are against AI, you can't deny that this single handedly spearheaded conversations around what's new, trending, and changing in AI. And listen, if you are in Agile, then I'm going to empower you and encourage you to embrace it, to embrace being on the front lines to avoid getting rolled over. But let's continue to look at how AI is being pioneered in different ways every single day. Take a look at the screen. On the screen, you'll see a White Castle restaurant, and you'll see that they've hired a robot. By the way, I'm going to be dropping terms. So, the use of robots and any hardware when it comes to AI is called robotics. So, make sure you write down that term. My point is that, as you may remember, the fast food industry had a really difficult time attracting talent. And when they did attract fast food workers, they could not keep them. So, it was either we look for people forever or we employ the use of Flippy the robot. So what Flippy's whole job is today at this White Castle outside of Chicago is that he goes in the freezer and he gets fries and tater tots, deep fries them, and he passes them to the next station. Now, before again you say that this is about replacing jobs, I want you to know that the adoption of AI is more about a sustainable future, helping the White Castles of the world to stay in business. Plus, Flippy doesn't call out. Let's take a look at a different use case of how we're pioneering AI in new ways. Let's take a look at the cutting edge ways that AI is being used in education. Now, this is our company's sweet spot, by the way. This is us utilizing AI to help with the teacher shortages and learning loss recovery. You can see that AI is helping to give teachers lift to reduce burnout, to help with digital instruction, and so many more use cases. So, my point is that AI is going nowhere fast. In fact, it's growing by leaps and bounds at alarming rates. In fact, if you're listening to my voice, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just take a moment and I want you to think back. What was one task that you used to do manually in your agile role that has now been automated? Just think about that. What was it? Was it booking calendar meetings? Was it holding retrospectives? Was it taking polls? Whatever it is, my point of asking you to think back is to show you that history is a good indication of where we are headed in the future. So, understanding and embracing AI and Agile is worth getting good at. So, the real question at this point is well, what does all of this mean for Agile careers? How will AI impact Agile roles as we know it? That's a great question. I think what I'll do is I'll break this down in two ways. Let's look at how the rise of AI will impact the Scrum Master role and then equally impact the product owner role. So, Scrum Masters, there's a lot of ways that AI is actually already impacting. When you think about the apps and the software that you're already using today, a lot of that is being driven by AI, from scheduling and tracking your sprints to data analysis to metrics tracking to risk management. The list goes on and on. But what if AI could be used to do all the things that we just really don't love? For example, what if AI could help us with writing user stories? And equally, what if AI could help us with the dreaded estimating story points? And what if AI could also help us with understanding and working with different personalities on the team? I'm here to tell you, it's already happening today. And at the end of my talk, I'm going to give you a bonus of 10 apps that are AI driven that you can use right away. Now, let's take a look at how AI is impacting the product owner role. So, as you can see, AI is already helping product owners understand where the next opportunity is, analyzing user feedback, and so on and so forth. But AI is also helping product owners to create value for customers versus just delivering value. AI is also helping with the pain points that are in the process. Where are the bottlenecks? What keeps reoccurring over and over? And what should I be watching out for? AI is helping you to shape those conversations. AI is also helping you to automatically develop a product roadmap based on a few inputs. So today I happen to know that all of this is being done manually. But what if in the very near future you can put in maybe 5 or 7 different things and you can have an entire 12-month roadmap? Now, before you start thinking, wait a minute, AI is going to replace me, I want to remind you that every single function I just mentioned will have to be vetted and quality checked by a human. This could be you. So don't look at what you're going to be missing. Look at what you're going to be moving towards as we think about AI. However, the reason why it's important that humans stay connected in this process is because, truthfully speaking, AI has some serious issues. Let's talk about some cons to AI as well. Number one, AI has an issue with bias, right? There are all types of biases that are showing up in reporting and data and healthcare and our criminal justice system and hiring. And we'll talk about some of this in just a second. But AI also needs some regulatory and ethics oversight. What's really interesting, right, is that historically, when it comes to new technology, we always do this thing where we roll out the best technology first, and then we have that uh-oh moment that says, oh, wait a minute. Now we actually have to regulate it, right? So historically, we always roll out first and then come back for the regulations piece. I'm here to tell you the regulations piece is getting ready to be big business. Even our US government is trying to figure out how to regulate and what do ethics look like in this new landscape. Also, if you've been watching headlines, then you know that Elon Musk himself has asked the US government for a 6 month moratorium to help figure out how do we regulate this. So, as Agilists, I'm going to encourage you to stay close to the campfire. Also, AI is still in its infancy phases, my friends. That means your employers, your companies are going to be leaning on your critical thinking skills to help them make key decisions as it comes to AI adoption. But I was just talking about the problems. Let's take a look at a class action case and some new legislation that's coming out. So, the Equal Opportunity Coalition has basically, as early as February 2023, basically saw the need to put together a group to oversight changing rules, right? So, changing rules in artificial intelligence when it comes to employment. Now, if you're super curious about this, you want to go searching. There was a huge case where Amazon had some issues with AI and some other companies. So, check that out. My point is that every new opportunity creates a problem. And my friends, every problem creates an opportunity. And it's the opportunity now that I want to focus on for the rest of this talk, because I want to show you that you can be on the front lines of opportunity. And now is the time to adjust your mindset, adjust your thinking around AI, and embrace the opportunities that will come to Agilist. So let's talk about how AI will change the future projects that Agilists like you and I will work on. And as I talk about the timing on this, I don't mean in 2 years and I don't mean in 1 year. I mean in the next 6 months. Do not be surprised if you're pulled off of what you're working on and instead you're pivoting towards these things I'm getting ready to discuss next. Let's take a look at a few AI impacted areas that employers and companies need your insights on today. Number one, companies are still navigating this space and they're still needing AI strategic help. So they're needing help with AI adoption. This means understanding what functions end to end. As I look at my entire enterprise, where do we start with AI adoption? Maybe we don't need to replace everything right now, but there are certain areas that are better than others when it comes to adopting AI. They're going to be looking for assessments. They're going to be looking for insight and data and intel to determine where are those mundane departments and tasks that will be highly beneficial for us to utilize AI for. But once they know that, They're going to be looking for your help with reskilling and upskilling strategies. Now, this is very important because most people commingle the terms reskilling and upskilling, but they're totally different terms. And what this means is as they look to adopt AI from department to department and function to function, the question bears in mind, are we reskilling these people? That means giving them a totally new set of skills to place them somewhere else in our enterprise, or are we upskilling them so that they can provide oversight for the AI? Again, these are things that you could be called to ask with. But they're also going to need help with AI bias detection, AI ethics and regulation policies. By the way, not in this talk, but I do have an awesome 5 step AI ethics template that is free. Simply email me at the end if you'd love that free template. I'd love to give it to you. My point is that this third one will be big business in the next 2 years because where you see AI, there will be legalities basically and legislation around the use of AI. So you are going to be on the front lines of that. But they'll also need AI programmers and tech teams. So for some of you, that means picking up a new skill, upskilling or reskilling altogether. And most importantly, they will need industry subject matter experts. This means you, whether you are in pharmaceutical, whether you are in environmental sciences, banking, it doesn't matter. Agilists will serve as industry subject matter experts to help train the new programs. But as we talk about Agilists and we talk about your skills, now let's talk about those skills that we as Agilists have naturally that transfer very nicely in the world of AI. So feast your attention on this screen here. Number one, the skill of collaboration, right? Agilists naturally understand collaboration. We understand how to bring different parties to the table to have meaningful discussions. This is certainly going to be a skill to leverage in the very near future. But Agilists also understand flexibility, right? They understand the need to work in iterations. So, understanding to change based on the information that's coming in, we already know how to do that. Agilists understand data driven decision making. We understand iterative approaches to building. We understand problem solving, right? Solving complex issues, which is something we're going to be asked to do. And we also understand and love continuous learning and improvement. So, my friends, as Agilists, we naturally possess the skills that companies and enterprises will be looking to leverage from us. However, there's one thing that we all must keep in mind is that although we understand Agile, with the rise of AI, a recent poll was taken, and many people are saying that they don't feel adequately trained for the digital advances. So, for me, this speaks to an opportunity. As an Agilist, this is an opportunity for you to either reskill or upskill. Let's break down the difference really quick between the two. So, reskilling is really about an entirely new set of skills whenever a job or a function becomes obsolete. Take, for example, that a bank wants to use AI completely for its customer service. There will be no more human people in those seats, right? They're going to completely move to AI. So, a bank now has to make a decision. Are we going to reskill this group and maybe use them as mortgage processors, for example, or in a totally different department? If the answer is yes, then they're looking at reskilling a totally different department. Okay. Now, if you're listening to this and you're currently in Agile and you don't have any AI skills yourself, then you may be looking to reskill. Now, let's talk about upskilling. Upskilling is the act of really advancing the skills that you already have. Okay. So if you are thinking about playing a key role or a bigger role in AI above and beyond the work that you're doing today, where you are providing oversight, then you're looking to strengthen the skills that you already have. Okay. So that's upskilling. Now, for anyone listening to my voice, if you do want to compete at the highest levels, I'm going to share with you why reskilling is the path for Agilists to take, adding one more layer of an AI certification to your Agile certification. Remember, those with Agile and AI knowledge in the very near future will become immediately more valuable in their careers. So the question is, how do I do it? What is the summary of everything I mentioned today? So, if we're at the end at this point and you're asking me, Dawn, it sounds good, but what can Agile professionals like me do to remain competitive? I'm going to introduce you to a concept that's called REACH. REACH is an acronym, and it's designed to help you reach your highest potential in this new AI era. Let's break down each one. Number one, it is time to reskill, my friends. If you are already in Agile, regardless of how many certifications you have, regardless of what industry you are in, I'm going to encourage you to add an AI fundamental certification so that you can compete at the highest levels. Number two, once you add that certification, I want you to educate yourself on what's new, trending, and changing in your industry and those you serve and support when it comes to AI. Let me break this down for a second because this one people sometimes will confuse. So there's what we do as Agilists. That means it would behoove us to understand what's trending and changing in Agile in AI. But then we also support customers, right? Or we support a product or we support a company. So think about the industry you serve. Maybe I understand Agile, but I'm in the pharmaceutical space. Or I understand Agile, but I'm in manufacturing. So there's twofold of understanding. There's understanding AI's impact in Agile, but there's also understanding AI's impact for those you serve and support. Again, you will become immediately more valuable by knowing this information. Thirdly, once you have these certifications, once you understand what's new, trending, and changing, it is time to alert the right people. Alert your job, alert your leaders of your new accomplishments, make them aware of your new skill sets. You know why? Because there are conversations around AI happening all around you that you may not be privy to today. But that will quickly change when they understand that you have information to share and to contribute. So, again, alert people to this. Fourthly, create valuable AI content in your current field. Yes, we're in the world or in the age of the AI revolution, but we're also in an era where content is king and queen. So the more content you can create, whether it's bite sized content, blogs, posts, videos, YouTube channels, newsletters, columns, sign up to create a stage for yourself. You don't have to wait to be invited to the table. You can create the stage, you can create the space, right? So start talking about what's new, trending, and changing. And then lastly, hold innovation forums and discussions with peers, partners, and teams. By doing these five things, you can guarantee that you will be able to compete at the highest levels in your Agile career. Now, at this point, you probably have tons of questions for me, and I have tons of answers. So I'd like for you to type in the chat what your questions are. Did you have a comment around something I said? Did you have a question? Did you need clarification? I am standing by to serve and support you at this point. And before we come to a close, just as promised, I have a bonus for you. Here is my top 10 list of automated Agile team tools that are already AI driven today. Feel free to take a screenshot of this page. Also, I'm still standing by for those questions. Now, if you do have a question that's specific for me and you don't feel comfortable leaving it here today, make sure you reach out to me. Also, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to today's talk. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can also send me a quick email at dawnnicole@myskilldora.com. And special thanks again to IIL, who is my and your trusted partner for learning. Head blown with so much information. You don't know what to do with it. Listen, if you're like me, then the wheels are turning and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about so many things. I mean, like, will AI replace my Agile career? The answer is, while it likely will not replace your Agile career, the person who understands Agile and understands AI might replace your career. With that said, don't sit there idly by and do nothing. Do something. And as you think about doing something, get an AI fundamental certification, whether it's understanding prompt engineering. How do I use ChatGPT to get the results that I want in the fastest, most effective way? Or how can I know enough about AI to lead and navigate a team through change? This is what our AI Essentials course is going to teach you. Or if you're a bit techie and nerdy like me, maybe you want to understand the science behind how AI works. How does a gaming system work in robotics? This is where you're going to learn machine learning. Oh, guess what? All three certifications that come in the AI Learn Pass. Check it out, see if it's for you. Even if you don't get educated by Skilldora, doing nothing is not an option, all right? I hope you got a ton of value. Hit like and subscribe. Until next time, take care. We'll talk soon. And I'm out. See you later. Bye.